What's good, bbl.fits fans? Welcome back to another episode of me not being able to stand still. It's been a minute, I won't lie, since we made a video, but we've all been pretty busy with playoff basketball over the past couple of months, so I'm sure you guys can forgive me. With the end of the season coming a couple of weeks ago, a couple of months ago, depending on when you're watching this, there has never been a better time for us as basketball fans to look to the future. And that's exactly what we're doing today as we talk about how the BBL can improve itself this off-season. If you got any suggestions on how to improve British basketball, let me know in the comments below. As always, like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you're new, so let's get into it. Number one, and this is purely from a fits point of view, very selfish of me to start, but we got to get more tunnel photographers, more tunnel shots. It gives players a chance to express themselves off of the court, which is something that we've seen a kind of shift towards in the NBA in recent years. It gives the photographers the opportunity to showcase their talent in kind of a different area. And also it ups the presence on social media of the players of the teams. It's something a little bit different from just posting highlights or just posting interview clips. And it gets people who maybe aren't as interested in basketball, interested in the sport. They start following these players, following these teams, then they get into it, and then the buzz around the BBL grows. And as this buzz grows, more players from other leagues are gonna look and say, okay, they're doing quite an interesting thing with the culture over here. That's going to attract better players, bigger players, and then the stock of the league rises. The second thing that the BBL needs to improve for next season, and I know this has been said before, but the BBL player is basic, man. And yeah, this season we did see it being a lot better than the previous seasons, but it still kind of sucked, I'm not going to lie. The amount of times that at the start of the season, I would tell my mates, this game's on tonight, this game's on tonight, tune in for free on the BBL player, and then the game is delayed, or there's no feed for the game, or you can't log in properly. And it's embarrassing for BBL fans, and soon enough you don't want to tell your mates. And that's putting people off the sport, because yeah, it's free, and that's cool, but it's not really that good. As well as the player itself, I think the broadcasts could maybe do with some work for some teams. One way they could do this would be to get multiple commentators, at least two. I know I watched quite a few games that had one commentator, and it's just a bit lonely. My man talking to himself, getting hyped up on dunks and getting annoyed at foul calls and stuff. So I think that dynamic of having two people works better. Overlays, infographics, that kind of stuff. We saw it in the London Lions, the Bristol Flyers with their replays. But yeah, the graphics really take it to the next level. It takes it from watching a stream on YouTube to kind of watching a professional league. There's a lot of Twitch streamers out there who are doing multi-angle things, who are doing overlays, graphics. And if they can do that on their single setup, then professional teams and professional league should be able to do that easily, no problem. And going back to what I said about the commentary, you could definitely do with some more neutral commentators. I think that's what Sky does very well, is they're quite objective, with obviously Drew and Kieran and the kind of different pundits that they have there, Mike Tuck, for example. Whereas in the team broadcast, it tends to be a lot more team-sided. And I understand that pictures and everything else comes from the team, but I do think that maybe it needs to be less kind of biased at times. Someone who does a really good job is Azania Stewart on the London Lions broadcast. She gives the time of day to the other players, the other teams, the other coaches, that kind of thing. She's also very respectful of the refs, and coming from a player, obviously she's got to be. Talking of refs, let's move on to point number 3, and that is to improve refereeing in the league. And I think this is something that we can all agree on, whoever you support, whoever you're cheering on. You always feel like your team is having the refs against them, and it's kind of unfair to the other team. And I'm not saying that we need to replace the referees, but what I am saying is we need to set up the referees for success. Give them the resources and the time that they need so that when it comes down to it on the games, they can make the correct calls. Whether this is video replays, and also introduce maybe kind of coach challenges like they have in cricket and tennis. And the refs definitely need consistency and transparency. And what I mean by this is publish guidance on contentious rules. So this is stuff like, when should a coach get technical? What's an unsportsmanlike, that kind of thing. Be transparent, define that at the start of the season so that the refs have that to look back to. And if we hold the officials accountable, then that means that we can see that their decisions, maybe against our team, are right, or we can see that their decisions are wrong, and the league will not be able to hide behind this. I tried to say that without slating anyone, without calling out teams or coaches or players or anything. Like I said, I'm sure we all think that our team is the most hard done by. Fourth area where the league can improve is kits. Now, we heard recently that Kappa renewed their sponsorship with the BBL and the WBBL, and you lot were split on that. And I feel like this is because Kappa has no identity as a kit supplier of the BBL. We did the kit video last week. If you didn't watch that, go and check it out. But these kits all look completely different. They could all be from different leagues. There's some kits that are really nice and look like professional sports kits, and there's some kits that are trash. You look at the NBA, you look at the Adidas jerseys that they used to have, the Nike jerseys they have now, the champion jerseys of the past. These all feel like cohesive kind of eras of the NBA, whereas British basketball, it had baggy jerseys and now it has slightly less baggy jerseys, but there's no kind of cohesion there. So I think what they should do by this is to standardize kit layouts, to have text goes there, your city on your home jersey, your nickname on your away jersey, number goes here. Like, you can change your font, you can put whatever graphics, whatever colors on there, but all these jerseys have the same layout, and I think that will help with the cohesion of the league. If we're not going to do that, because I guess that kind of takes away the artistic license of the team, then at least have kind of standardized home kit and away kit for each team, so that their kids feel the same. And the last thing that they got to do about jerseys, again, if you watch the jersey video, it's a recap to what I said there, but teams need special edition jerseys. Whether this is a throwback jersey for the teams that do have history, and for the teams that are more new, maybe don't have that kind of history, we give them city jerseys, kind of like having the NBA that celebrates the culture of the city. This could be something like the Bristol away kit this year, where it's got the landmarks. It's kind of like a homage to that city. And then what we do with these is we wear them over a month. We have throwback month, or we wear them for the trophy games or something. And the next thing that the BBL needs to bring in is an all-star game. We saw the success of the rebound all-stars at NBL level last season, and honestly, I think the BBL needs to hop on that train now and get us some all-stars. We need to see the best players in the league playing against each other, playing with each other as well, creating new matchups, whether that be kind of teammates going against each other, whether that be oppositions playing together. Like, imagine seeing your favorite player from another team and your favorite player from your team, all of a sudden they're throwing lob passes to each other. And that's also going to showcase the best of British talent, the young talent that we've got, and you can also show off the best of the league. So it's a win-win. With this all-star game, you could build up so much hype around it, you could build up so much excitement. You see on Sky, they've got the BBL, they had the BBL last season, but how many times did you see them push that? How many times did you see an advert for that on Sky? Imagine if we've got this all-star event, this pinnacle event, that they can create so much hype around, and that's going to increase the stock of the league, going to get more people watching it, going to get people excited for this game. And with this all-star game, there is plenty of formats, plenty of possibilities. We can have what they have in the NBA with the captains. We can maybe make a kind of north-south thing, UK versus import, and just showcase the talent that is in this league. Because there are some talented players, but it's so hidden unless you know about BBL culture. Even basketball fans don't know about the BBL, which is mad. So yeah, that's the 5 top things that the BBL needs to do this off-season to bring the league to the next level. Like I said at the start, if you've got any ideas about how the BBL can improve the league, let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time on BBL Fits. Good night.